saving your first $10,000 changes everything. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Reaching $10,000 is not the hard part. Knowing what to do next is. Thousands of people grind for years to hit that milestone, and then they make a mistake that quietly destroys their momentum. They leave the money sitting in a bank account. They spend part of it on lifestyle upgrades, or worse. They start chasing risky investments they don't understand. And suddenly, that $10,000 opportunity disappears. But people who build real wealth follow a completely different strategy. They use their first $10,000 as a launch pad. A turning point, a moment where money stops being something you only save and starts becoming something that works for you. So, in this video, you'll learn the 5 moves you should make after saving your first $10,000. The strategy many financially successful people use to turn $10,000 into $100,000. The biggest mistake that keeps people stuck in the middle-class money trap. And how to activate the wealth-building momentum most people never experience if building wealth. Financial freedom, passive income, and smart investing is something you're serious about. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because this channel is all about financial growth, money psychology, investing strategies, and escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Now, let's talk about the first move you should make after saving $10,000. Before thinking about investing, multiplying money, or building passive income, you need to protect your progress. Because the fastest way to destroy financial momentum is unexpected expenses. A car repair, a medical bill, job instability, an emergency travel situation. Without protection, these moments force people to liquidate investments or go into debt. That's why the first smart move after hitting $10,000 is creating a financial buffer. Ideally, part of your savings should function as an emergency fund. Think of it as your financial shock absorber. It prevents small problems from turning into massive financial setbacks. Many people underestimate how powerful this step is, because when your finances are stable, you can start making better financial decisions without stress. And stability is the foundation of wealth building. This step might not feel exciting, but it can be one of the highest return financial moves you can make. If you have high-interest debt like credit cards, personal loans, payday loans, then paying those off can be equivalent to earning 20% or even 30% returns. Very few investments can consistently beat that. Think about it this way. If a credit card charges 25% interest, every dollar you pay toward that balance is like earning 25% guaranteed returns. No stock market volatility, no crypto crashes, no investment risk, just financial progress. And once those high interest payments disappear, your monthly cash flow increases instantly, which means you'll have more money to invest, save, and build wealth faster. Start investing immediately once your financial foundation is stable. The next step is simple. Put your money to work. Because money sitting idle slowly loses power due to inflation. Smart investors understand something important. Wealth is built by owning assets. Assets that generate growth. Assets that generate income. Assets that increase in value. Over time, some of the most popular beginner investment categories include index funds, ETFs, dividend stocks, real estate investments. High-growth companies. These are widely used strategies in the world of personal finance, wealth building, and portfolio growth. The key idea is simple. Instead of trading time for money forever, you start building systems that grow your money automatically. There are 2 types of people financially: people who work for money and people who own things that produce money. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts that happens after the first $10,000 milestone. Your goal should be to start building income-producing assets. Examples include Investment portfolios, digital businesses, online products, dividend investments, rental income streams, automated online services. Even small assets can start producing income. And when income starts coming from multiple sources, financial pressure begins to disappear. This is where concepts like passive income, financial independence, and income diversification start becoming real. Because relying on one paycheck is one of the biggest financial risks people take. Here's something wealthy individuals understand extremely well. Money grows faster when it moves strategically. Instead of letting money sit still, they constantly redeploy it into opportunities. This concept is often called money velocity. For example, savings generate stability. Investments generate growth. Income streams generate expansion. And when these three elements start working together, your financial life enters a completely different phase. Your $10,000 becomes the engine of a financial system. Reaching your first $10,000 is not just a financial milestone. It's a psychological breakthrough. For the first time, you realize something powerful. You can control your financial future. You prove to yourself that saving, discipline, and smart decisions actually work. And this realization often creates financial momentum. Momentum that leads to bigger investments, smarter financial choices, stronger income strategies. Faster wealth growth. Many financially successful people say the hardest milestone was not $100,000. It was the first $1 okay. Because once you learn how to reach that number, scaling becomes easier. Now, let's talk about the mistake that destroys progress. Lifestyle inflation. This happens when income increases, savings increase, but spending increases just as fast. Suddenly people upgrade their car, their apartment, their subscriptions, their habits, and their financial growth slows down dramatically. The goal after saving $10,000 is not to look wealthy. The goal is to become wealthy, and those are two very different paths. Your next target should be $100,000 in assets, because the jump from $10,000 to $100,000 is where financial acceleration begins. Achi, the level grows above. Income streams become meaningful, and your financial decisions start creating bigger results. This is why so many personal finance experts say, the first $100,000 is the hardest, but your first $10,000 is the step that starts everything. Saving your first $10,000 means you've already done something most people never achieve. You proved you can manage money. You proved you can delay gratification. And you proved you can build something real. Now, the mission changes. The focus shifts from saving money to building a system that multiplies it. And the people who understand this transition are the ones who eventually reach financial independence, investment growth. Multiple income streams, true financial freedom. Most people underestimate what $10,000 really represents. It's not just a number. It's proof that you've developed three skills that separate financially successful people from everyone else: discipline, financial awareness, and delayed gratification. These are the same habits used by people who eventually build six-figure net worth, investment portfolios, and financial independence. Think about it. To reach your first $10,000, you probably had to reduce unnecessary spending, increase your income, track your finances, avoid impulse purchases. Stay consistent for months or years. That combination creates a powerful financial mindset. And once that mindset exists, scaling your money becomes much easier. That's why many wealth builders say the first $10,000 saved is actually the foundation of a strong financial future. Now that you've crossed the $10,000 milestone, the focus changes completely. The new goal is money multiplication. Instead of asking, how can I save more? You begin asking, how can my money start generating more money? This shift is one of the biggest turning points in personal finance and wealth building. Because once your money starts working for you, the process of building wealth begins to accelerate. And this is exactly where many people unlock something powerful: financial momentum. When people move beyond basic saving, they usually focus on three main financial engines. Understanding these can completely transform how you approach money. Engine number one: investment growth. This is where your money is placed into assets that historically increase in value. Examples include stock market investments, index funds, ETFs, real estate investments, business equity. These types of assets allow your money to grow over time without requiring constant work. Many beginners start with simple investment strategies because they are easy to understand and widely used in the financial independence and investing community. Engine number two: income expansion. Saving money is powerful, but increasing your income capacity can accelerate everything. People who build wealth often focus on expanding their earning potential through new skills, career advancement, online businesses, side hustles, digital opportunities. This is why terms like side hustle ideas, making money online, and income diversification are some of the most searched topics in the finance space today. More income gives you one powerful advantage: more money to invest. And the more money you invest, the faster your wealth engine grows. Engine number three: ownership. One of the biggest differences between wealthy individuals and average earners is ownership. Employees trade time for money. Owners build systems that generate income. Ownership can come in many forms: business ownership, investment portfolios, real estate, intellectual property, digital products. Even small ownership stakes can eventually produce serious financial returns. This is why many successful people focus heavily on building assets instead of only earning salaries. Something interesting begins happening once you pass the $10,000 mark. Your financial progress can start creating momentum. For example, savings create stability. Stability allows you to invest. Investments create growth. Growth creates confidence. Confidence leads to bigger financial decisions. And suddenly you're operating on a completely different financial level. This is often called the wealth snowball effect, and it's one of the most powerful forces in personal finance. Because momentum makes everything easier. Saving becomes easier. Investing becomes easier. Growing wealth becomes easier. Here's something that rarely gets discussed. Financial success is not just about strategies. It's about behavior. Two people can have the same income, the same opportunities, and the same financial knowledge. But the one with better financial discipline almost always wins. Discipline protects you from impulse spending, lifestyle, inflation, risky investments, emotional financial decisions. And when discipline combines with consistent investing and smart financial planning, wealth begins to grow naturally. There's a quiet gap that exists between two types of people: people who consume wealth and people who build wealth. Consumers spend their money on things that lose value. Builders spend their money on things that produce value. This small difference completely changes someone's financial trajectory. For example, one person buys expensive liabilities. Another person buys income-producing assets. 10 years later, their financial situations are completely different. Understanding this difference is one of the most important lessons in financial literacy and money management. If you want a simple blueprint after saving your first $10,000, it often looks something like this. Maintain a financial safety buffer, eliminate expensive debt. Start investing consistently, build income-producing assets, increase earning potential, reinvest profits. This system is simple, but incredibly powerful. And when repeated consistently, it becomes the backbone of many successful wealth-building strategies. Building financial success is rarely about a single decision. It's about consistent decisions, repeated over time. Small investments, small financial improvements, small increases in income, small reductions in wasteful spending. These small actions compound into something huge. And eventually people reach financial milestones that once felt impossible. There is usually a moment in every wealth journey when something clicks. You stop seeing money as something that disappears every month, and you start seeing it as a tool for building opportunities. This shift changes how you think about spending, investing, saving, income, risk, and when that mental shift happens, financial growth becomes much more intentional. Saving your first $10,000 proves something important. You already know how to build financial progress. Now, the focus is simple. Turn that progress into momentum. Keep investing. Keep learning about money. Keep increasing your income potential. And keep building assets that work for you. Because when these pieces come together, something powerful happens. Money stops being a constant stress and starts becoming a system that supports your future. The advantage of compound interest that most people ignore. There's a reason why so many finance experts constantly talk about compound growth, investing early, and consistent contributions. Because compound interest is one of the most powerful forces in building wealth and personal finance. The idea is simple. Money that generates income starts generating income on that income. And, over time, this effect can transform small investments into surprisingly large sums. That's why many investors focus on consistency instead of trying to predict the market. They continue investing during market highs, market lows, economic uncertainty, financial news cycles, because the real advantage isn't guessing the perfect timing. The real advantage is the time invested in the market and the consistency in investments. And once you've saved your first $10,000, you'll have already created the necessary habit for this strategy to work. Another powerful move after reaching $10,000 is upgrading your earning power. Many people try to build wealth by only cutting expenses. But there's a limit to how much you can save. There is no real limit to how much you can earn. That's why people focused on financial growth often invest in learning high-income skills, building online businesses, creating digital products, consulting or freelancing, starting scalable side hustles. These strategies are extremely popular right now in the world of online entrepreneurship, digital income, and modern wealth building. Why? Because increasing income dramatically speeds up your ability to invest more, save more, build assets faster. And when higher income combines with smart investing, financial progress begins accelerating much faster. One of the most important habits in wealth creation is reinvestment. When your investments generate profits or your income increases, a portion of that money should go right back into your financial system. This creates a powerful cycle. Income creates investments. Investments create growth. Growth creates more capital. Capital creates bigger investments. And the cycle continues. This strategy is used by many successful investors and entrepreneurs because it multiplies financial momentum. Instead of constantly consuming profits, they reinvest a percentage into new opportunities. Over time, that habit can transform small beginnings into massive financial expansion. Why most people stay stuck financially? Let's be honest about something. The biggest obstacle in personal finance is rarely knowledge. Most people already know the basics. Spend less than you earn. Avoid interest debt. Save consistently, invest wisely. But the real challenge is execution. Distractions, lifestyle pressure, social comparison, and impulse spending constantly pull people away from their financial goals. That's why people who achieve financial success often build simple systems that automate good decisions, automatic savings, automatic investing, automatic budgeting. These systems remove emotion from the process and make wealth building much easier to maintain. Once someone crosses the $10,000 mark, something deeper can start changing: their financial identity. Instead of thinking, "I'm someone who struggles with money," They begin thinking, I'm someone who builds wealth. That identity shift is powerful because your beliefs influence your financial habits, and your habits influence your financial future. People who see themselves as wealth builders naturally start making better financial decisions. They think more about assets, more about opportunities, more about growth, and less about short-term consumption. Every major financial milestone starts with a small foundation. The first $1,000 proves you can save. The first $10,000 proves you can build momentum. The first $100,000 proves your financial system works. And from there, the journey toward financial independence, investment growth, and true financial freedom becomes much clearer. But it all starts with understanding what to do right after saving your first $10,000. Protect your progress. Invest wisely, increase your income. Build assets and stay consistent. Those simple principles are the backbone of almost every successful wealth building strategy in the world. Let this sink in for a second. The moment you saved your first $10,000, you quietly entered a different financial category than millions of people. You proved something powerful. You proved that financial discipline, smart money habits, and consistent saving actually work. And once someone learns that skill, everything changes, because wealth isn't built from luck. It's built from systems, habits, investing strategies, and financial education. The people who have reached $1,500,000 and even seven-figure net worth usually start exactly where you are right now. One milestone, one financial decision, one investment at a time. So, if your goal is to build financial freedom, passive income, multiple income streams, and a powerful investment portfolio, then your journey is just getting started. Your first $10,000 is the ignition point. Now, it's time to turn that momentum into something bigger. If you made it this far in the video, you're already thinking differently about money than most people. And that's a powerful place to start. So, if you want more content about investing strategies, personal finance tips, money psychology, passive income ideas, and financial growth, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also comment below, next stop 10 OK, because after your first $10,000, that's the milestone you should start aiming for next.